Welcome, beautiful people, to this broadcast of Spirituality One with One, where we aim to grow spiritually towards a more balanced experience. I am super excited you're here. I am your host, Ao Inti, and everything I share here is the truth as I currently know it. I encourage you to use your ability to discern this information and gather what is useful to you at this time. Now take a deep breath and enjoy. Alright guys, welcome to today's episode. We'll be talking about spiritual path and dealing with people who are close to you, mostly your family. Okay? So the first thing that we gotta understand and really drive home and sustain consciously is the fact that every single person is on a spiritual path moving at a growth rate that is unique to them. Every being is unique, right? And you observe this when you look at nature and you see that some plants grow faster, give different fruits, have different shapes. You can even plant two seeds and one can sprout in 10 days and the other one can take 8 months to sprout, because that is just the design of it all. And sometimes, especially at the beginning of the spiritual path, we may not realize this, but we want and we expect other people to be moving at the rate that we are moving. And this is it's unfair from us to expect, to demand sometimes even from other people, because it's something that they just can't do. They're moving at their own speed, and part of the spiritual path is to understand this, to accept it, and look at it just like you would look at a different species of plants. You wouldn't be like, oh, this one is so far behind, it's ugly, or it's not doing its job, it should be growing faster. No, you simply see unique beings developing at their rate, and you see their beautiful nature in what they are, and with that acceptance comes unconditional love. First we have to do this within. First we have to do this with our own growth. We have to accept the growth rate that we are experiencing and not judge the fact that it may not be where we want to be. Obviously balancing that out with a healthy level of wanting to push that comfort zone, wanting to get out there and expand. Okay, now when it comes to family, well, the whole environment around you acts as a mirror, because you have attracted that which you needed to in order to understand whatever it is that you need to understand in that moment. But with family specifically, this phenomena or this situation is exalted, because let's talk about parents, for example. Parents, when we look at it, really is, if we're a part of a family tree. So my family tree, right, the last branch from the branch from which I came from was the marriage or the merging of both of my parents, my mom and my dad. But that also brings in the genetic code from all of my ancestors, from the entire tree. So the last branch comes out, which is me. And if I were to look back at the last time, at the previous part of the tree that I was, which was my parents, right? So I just came from that previous branch, which means all of what I am right now came from information that was previously there. So if I look back and if I look at my parents and my ancestors and I judge them for things that I believe they should improve, then in reality what is going on is that I have not, as the last extension of the tree, I have not improved that for the whole family tree. It's not on them. They already did their work up to their time in order to give fruit or to grow another branch, which is you. You haven't grown another branch. You're still working on it too. And the fact that it bothers you that the previous generation has to do better, it just shows that you haven't done your job first. Because after you've done it, you realize, and this is something too that you can look and witness when you look at plants. If there's a disease, but then suddenly the new branch, the new leaves start coming up healthy, that healthiness starts permeating back towards the entire plant or tree. And that is exactly what happens in a family tree. So once you heal yourself, you will start healing generations to come, obviously, but also the generations in your energetic or DNA or ancestral family tree, which is something incredibly powerful, which is something that is, I regard as sacred work, because nobody can do it for you and it has to be done. That is how you really change the world over time. By healing yourself, you start healing your family. By healing your family, you heal your neighborhood, you heal your community, and that permeates into exponentially when you see generations and generations passing by. I think that we ought to be incredibly grateful to our parents always, no matter what. Even if we get immensely triggered by them, that even more so, because they're just proving to be very, very powerful teachers, masters of whatever it is they're triggering us with, because it's not really about them, it is about us. So when it comes to a spiritual path, release the need and the expectation for others to be where you think they should be. Allow them to be, accept them to be, focus all of your energy on yourself, and if anything, if you want to help them by helping yourself, by being a higher standard of a reflection. When they look at you, they will see you and they will evaluate themselves with this more virtuous example that you're now exhibiting. But do not go into saying, hey, you guys should change this, you guys are doing this, you guys, I don't understand why you guys do this. That is not healthy, that is not unconditional love, and it's definitely not spiritual. So that being said, thank you guys for listening. I'll drop 2 links on the description of this audio experience. One of it is to my Facebook to my Facebook profile, where you can just add me and we can stay connected there. And another one is to my Patreon, where you can see how you can become a more intimate part of this movement. Okay, so I'll see you then, and I hope that you enjoy.